Yeah.
So, obviously, you said you went to school for film.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give someone who's had like no formal training? Like,
Yeah.
someone might just be interested in film.
Yeah.
Or interested in telling stories. Like, what advice would you give someone when it comes to that?
To getting
to get that first step to, you know what I'm saying, to get things going,
to build some momentum. I think there's a number of approaches. I think one, definitely go out and just start shooting and working or writing. If it's the writing's your thing, then just write. If it's shooting and cinematography, then go out and shoot. Like, even if it's small stuff, just get into the process of making stuff, because when you're young and you don't have, I don't know, like the pressure of like a client or, you know, a big project, you can make those mistakes, and you need to make those mistakes as much as possible and as early as possible. And then I would say there are kind of opportunities now where it's like going to film festivals and Orange Soda Film Club, with shout out to Carl and all you guys doing your things, like listen to like connect and like turn up at those events and just speak to people and just find your tribe and your community. And yeah, I think those two things are massive. And then another thing I think is, don't be afraid to connect with people. Like, I have used LinkedIn crazy, and this is more from a business perspective, but like if I find someone that is a producer or exec producer or something, I'll reach out and try and connect to them. And like a big thing, it's nothing to do with film, but it's a massive thing that I think is important, is try to get half an hour of their time. Like, can I take, and a big thing is like, it's going to sound so odd, but offering to pay for their coffee. Something as simple as that, right? Like, I'm borrowing your time, which is hugely valuable to you. Can I take you out for a coffee, pay for it, and then and then on a follow-up note, because the amount of time, like I take a certain amount of meetings every month to give back to younger directors and filmmakers and stuff, and I'll always do it. But there's little things where like they don't notice to like potentially even to offer to pay. And I understand it's not like, you know, some people are from backgrounds that are not as affluent. I understand that, but it could just be, you know, a £2 coffee or whatever. Exactly. I think it's just a gesture and understanding, and I don't think they mean harm, but if they don't know, they don't know. So I'm telling them this is a massive thing, and people that, you know, where their time precious, they appreciate that and they understand that, they value that, and that will go a long way. And just always offer to help. Always offer to help, saying like, what can I do? Is there any way that I can help? Offer that first, and then you'll get in, man. You'll get so many ins, and rather that stuff is early.
Yeah, rather than ask, like offer.
Yeah, because you know they know you're gonna want help at some point, right? But yeah, just offering what you can do is gonna be a huge thing. And obviously, my film is about like that, and saying like it's difficult to work for free and stuff. I'm not saying always to work for free, but yeah, it could even just be, I'll turn up for a few hours when I'm free, or it could just be, can I help with some paperwork, or I don't know, something, and then mirror that with doing your own stuff as well all the time, and enjoy the process. 100% enjoy it, because you need that tribe to kind of as early as possible build that tribe early, man. Which is what you guys are doing, and you know, helping all of that. So Can I?
Are you working on any other?
So I'm already now. So it's funny. So the internship is doing the festival circuit now. So we are in in Fragments Film Festival in 2 weeks' time, which is a film festival for unrepresented directors and filmmakers, people of colour as well. So we got into that, and it's going to do the festival circuit for a year. So I've submitted it to like Toronto and Southwest and all of that. So all the big festivals. So you know, you get told whether you make it in throughout the year.
Now, before you move on, so when you submit, so
that's a process.
There's no, they don't accept every application, obviously. Yeah. But like, do you have to wait long to?
So I'll kind of let me show you.
Because I can imagine like the independent like film circuit, when it comes to all these events, like everyone's trying to get their movies.
Yeah, there must be a ton.
There must be a crazy criteria that you have to take to be able to get into it.
Do you understand? But when you get accepted, like your film's being screened, that in itself is.
I'm trying to show you. I can't find it.
Imagine there's like a filter.
So I've done this across the years. So like I kind of like filtered all the festival circuits, and I kind of put them into the ones that I've got in. This is not even the big one, but there's a website called Film Freeway where you put your film up, and you can put your trailer and all your documents up, and then they just show you all the festivals that are coming up, and you kind of just select which ones, and you pay a fee. It's like a small fee.
Okay.
And yeah, so with the festival, you have to create a strategy to figure out, you know, you kind of, there's thousands around the world, right? So you figure out what you can afford and what ones you think are going to be worth it. And if it was a small film, maybe go for a smaller festivals, more likely to get in. But it's also the experience of getting in there and like being around people, man. That's valued, like hugely valuable. It just inspires you, and you'll build those connects. So, but yeah, I guess the festivals now, they serve a different purpose. Like previously, they were like to promote films, which they still do. Like for London Locks, the documentary film festival, Sheffield, you have like all the big networks coming there, and they're looking at the new stuff to buy and stuff. So. So internships doing that, and it could get picked up and things could happen. But I'm really impatient. I like working on this project. So I'm working on this project called Rice, which is a documentary series similar to Chef's Table. Have you ever seen that?
Heard of it?
No, you guys have to watch that. You have to watch that.
Chef's Table.
Watch that.
Tool Kitchen, you should be watching this, bro. What's going on?
It's the best. I think it's the best documentary series I've ever watched. Ever.
Really?
Yeah, it's so good.
So obviously it's about food.
It's about food. So Chef's Table is a Netflix series original. It's about some of the best chefs in the world, and they follow on how they became like an amazing chef.
Okay.
So Rags to Riches tale, right? Yeah. It's on season 7 now or something. But I was inspired by that because it's so well put together. But I was like, I always tell this story. Like I went to school in Stratford, St Francis, my primary school, and used to go there. Used to have packed lunch, and all the English kids used to have like nice Tupperwares with ham sandwiches and a nice Kit Kat, and I used to rock up with a stained Tupperware of Malaysian fried rice. Used to get gunned out. Like, what the hell is this? What is this? And I remember distinctly one time I was sitting down, and after getting gunned out, I was like, my boy was like, oh shit, we eat that, but it's different. And he was like a Filipino guy, and my other boy John was like, yeah, we have this, but we cook it different, and it's called jollof rice. And my other boy, we eat this, and we call it rice and peas. It's Jerome from Jamaica. It's the first time that I felt very aware of my culture, but kind of disconnected as well. So like from kind of Western culture, but connected to all these other cultures and communities. But then at the same time, rice is interpreted so differently depending on where you are in the world. But it's the biggest staple food in the world, right? And there's nothing online about it. It's like there's stuff on food, on pasta and all this, but this rice dish is like, what I would say is this like white canvas for culture and community and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm crazy passionate about, like, all my stuff always touches on subcultures and people, underrepresented communities within the film. So I was like, this will be dope. And then just when you watch Chef's Table, you realize like why all of these is sick. So that was kind of the main pitch. And I won't say who I've pitched to, but I'm talking to some potential big networks and stuff. And we're in early development stage on that, but it's, everyone that I've spoken to has like, I'll watch that. So hopefully season 1 will be jollof rice and peas, Indian biryani, Chinese fried rice, Persian rice. So like 8 episodes, but each episode...
make sure the jollof,
I need to speak to you about this after as well,
No, what I'm saying, I was going to say, that jollof episode is going to be hype. Like, just make sure that episode... Like, you might as well save it for like a season finale, because everyone's watching that. That's going to be...
But that's the thing, right?
Online debate as well.
It's crazy. Like, I can't understand how none of this stuff has been covered in depth. Like, and I was also interested in like the history of it as well. So like, my background is Malaysian, South Indian, and like my cousin has they own a paddy field, but they're in Indonesia. So like, seeing it from the source, like half of my family are Chinese in Malaysia, and I'm like, fried rice everyone eats that, even in New York, whatever. But who invented, like, how did this come together? Like, what person thought, I'm going to fry it and this and that? And, but we've done a bit of research, and it's also down to, it's like from people when they don't have that much money, and rice got stale, but a way of
bringing it back to life.
it's to fry it, right? But all of that, I'm fascinated by this shit, right? And I'm like, and when I was pitching, they were like, who watch it? I was like, maybe 80% of the world will watch this shit.
Everyone's going to watch it.
So I'm really, really, really excited about that, man. And it's like, I'm going to use the narratives elements that I've learned from the storytelling elements from this internship stuff and my background in fashion to make it look beautiful and all this stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm
That's-
doing, man.
Ideas.
Yeah.
Kind of sick.
That's a sick concept
I
for.
got one question.
Yeah.
All right. Where do you see yourself in about 5 years down the line?
5 years.
Hollywood and that.
Relevant, very relevant question. If this project takes off, I think potentially, I don't know how long those docs take, but like I've got like a 1.5, 2 year plan to get this out and shoot this, and I think it's probably staying in more TV than film. I don't know if I'll go into feature film. If I am doing narrative, which I still would like to do, it will be more episodic stuff like Atlanta or like kind of Insecure, like that type of stuff. Because I've done a lot of soul searching as well after this project. I'm like, what is my skill suited for? Like, can I write? Like, a feature thing is a massive investment as well. Like, you have to write it. It's years of your life, and then. Whereas I was like, I enjoy working in smaller segments, like telling smaller stories, but then building it up into a bigger arc. So I think I'll definitely stay in TV, and whether you say it's TV now with like Netflix and all that, like the whole format's changing 30 minutes, 20 minutes and stuff. But yeah, so probably there and floating between narrative and docs in that space. But I've done this book, I've done this project, and it is called Find My Why. I don't know if you've ever watched this TED Talk on why.
I probably
It's
would.
like,
The Golden Circle thing. You
I
may
don't know if I've ever seen the TED Talk.
Simon Sinek was the author,
Yeah.
and he's talking about like the best companies in the world or brands, like how they reverse engineer stuff. Is like instead of making something, and then this is what we make. They figure out why they make something, and then they ended up being this is just Apple. We just happen to make.
Yes, I think I've seen that. Is he writing on like a whiteboard?
Yeah. So
that's
it's sick.
man.
He came
I'm
out
not
with
gonna
a
lie to
second
you.
book, right? To then, instead of just tell you what companies do, to teach everyday people to find your own why, your own purpose. And it was crazy. It was a life-changing book that I done a few months ago. And because I was frustrated, it's like, am I, floating in here or there? So I just wanted to consolidate everything. And you kind of I'm going off topic, but you kind of like put these like main things in your life that has changed you. So like the most important moments in your life, Ruben leaving Indiv, I've put in here, meeting my wife, whatever, and you sit down with someone that's a friend that's not that close to you, and you kind of you go through these processes, and you're like, what made these times important? And you have to fill out this sentence. You're eventually trying to figure out two, so that. And once you figure out the sentence, all of your work for the rest of your life can just be shaped within this. So for me, I figured it out because it's to discover, reveal, and connect with underappreciated people and places so that I can progressively shape the way people see the world. So now, every other project for the rest of my life needs to fit underneath that.
So that's your life motto.
That's my life motto now. And I look back at all the projects that I really, really liked. Like, so the internship was showcasing underappreciated people and places, those communities. And then why do I do it? What's my legacy? So that I can shape the way people see being important, because I do it through the medium of film. So yeah, it's an amazing, because it's important to know what you don't want to do as well. So like when I'm choosing a project now, I line it up to this, and Rice does this crazy, because for me it's important to discover and reveal. So travel was always an important thing. When I was inspired, like if I traveled to do a shoot, I was so fired up, and it was like to reveal of like different, like when I was at Mr. Porter, it wasn't even like the big people at the top of the company. I'd love speaking to the people in the factories. Like I'll connect with them and be like, how do you do this? Like that was the thing that kind of fired me up. So yeah, I highly recommend this book, man. It's sick. It's so good.
Find your why.
Find your way. Yeah. Definitely. Like check it out.
Definitely gonna read that. Therefore.
And the dope thing is, you don't even have to stay in one medium. So I could do a photography project, and as long as it aligns with this, it's still
future
along the line
purpose.
with my legacy and what I want to put out to the world.